Okay, so I moved one spot over. We started out over in space 45, which is the one that I have reserved for Huntsville Hamfest. And we moved over here to space 47 right next to that, which is right next to the bathhouse over here, actually. And you'll see the results there.
Grab your pack and your radio. It's time to go hiking and hamming.
SpaceX says there is a new algorithm for your Starlink where you don't have to worry about trees. So we went to Monte Sano to put that to the test in preparation for Monte Sano activities during Huntsville Hamfest 2025. As you can see, there's our favorite park ranger, who's also a ham. And this test is at one of the picnic tables in that center parking area by the Scoble Pavilion, where many of our activities will be taking place up there at the state park. So you can see what we're getting there. There's some partial blockage from a tree there, but you can see we're getting about 20 megs down, or 20 megs down and 8 up with a 55 millisecond ping here. And that's about as good as it got at this location. I don't know what the performance would look like over an extended period of time, because these were really quick tests. Let's get it connected to the system and do a ping test, basically a speed test, and see what we got. There was no extended period of time to see how the performance was over an hour, 2 hours, or whatever. We just didn't have the time to do that. So these are very much your mileage may vary results. And going over here by Scoble Pavilion, where we have a clear view right now of the northern sky. You can see the antenna is set up on that low stone wall as you're walking up to the pavilion, and you can see that the speed is fantastic. It's working great. So then we went to the campground. This is at campsite 45, which is the one that we'll be using during Huntsville Hamfest. I figured I'm going to be in that site. Let me see how it works from that site. So this was the first setup, and I was never able to get a good connection. Now, if I'd have let it sit there for a few hours, it may have finally connected. Okay, so we've aimed the antenna a little bit more to the north. If you look up through here, you can see it's still very, very obstructed. That's not really a realistic positioning for me either, because I know that I will have that particular part of the space occupied. Okay, so I moved one spot over. We started out over in space 45, which is the one that I have reserved for Huntsville Hamfest. And we moved over here to space 47 right next to that, which is right next to the bathhouse over here, actually. And you'll see the results there. It worked better-ish. I wasn't getting a good connection over from what is my spot. I was getting connection from over here, but it's intermittent. It comes, it goes, it drops out frequently, but when it's working, it works pretty good. So the bottom line is, it's going to depend, like everything else, it's going to depend on where you are in the campground, and how much coverage you have, or how much of a view. It's going to depend on where in the park you are and how much of a view you have of the northern sky, to see how much coverage you're going to get with the Starlink there. And that's my Starlink Mini up on a speaker pole, and there's Pink.
Hi.
Photobombing me.
Yes, tree canopy notwithstanding, yes.
So, all right. Thanks for watching.